So Blizzard has done the unexpected for 10.2.6. We have a patch, which is normally the season 4 patch, actually having a feature which is mostly about PvP. That is the feature that is new to the event. The event is a PvP event. You could also say a PvP VE event, which is something I would always have liked on World of Warcraft, and I'm actually super excited. I must say, I've read it once I was on the train, and I was like having a big smile because I knew it was going to be very fun. Now, let me explain. So 10.2.6 will have Plunder Storm, which is the battle royale form for World of Warcraft. So you could see it as World of Warcraft Fortnite, whatever you can give it a name. It is a 60-player battle royale. I'm going to give you some indication on what you can expect. You can play it today, I think, on US and tomorrow on EU. I will be making more content about it. Personally, I'm very excited. I'm going to play a lot of it, and I'm looking at like about it as the future being very bright for PvP. If they actually hit the nail and they're not going to keep it as a one-time thing, it could be like a successful thing going on for like War Within, and it could bring a lot of players going in, I would say, positively, right? Very positively. So let's talk like step by step about the battle royale. So patch 2.2.6, this is a TLDR, is a 60% battle royale, which you can do solo queue and duo queue. If you're playing as a duo queue, you can invite your friend, or you could also start with someone that you do not know. So you can start a duo queue without knowing that person, and maybe you will have a friendship. We never know. It doesn't use typical WoW characters, so you'll end up like creating a character for that game mode. You don't need to play Dragonflight at all. You also just need a subscription and download the retail game. So if you're a classic player or you are not up to date on Dragonflight, it doesn't really care because you can basically create your character and hop in after a queue. So you're just in a queue, and once it's ready, it jumps you directly onto a lobby where you can start looting and eliminating creatures and avoid the storm. So you have a storm like a battle royale where the zone becomes little and little and little, and then you will have a lot of PvP action. So at first you will have less PvP action, but more like PvE. So you're trying to get the acquired abilities and spells, and then loot chests as well to get better like rewards, like for example upgrades on those spells. And then if you can find players, you're going to eliminate them, and the last one standing is going to have the best rewards. But the good thing is you still have rewards even though you are not the last one standing. So you have like a battle pass kind of thing where you're going to progress and get rewards for your real games, which is like Dragonflight currently and Classic. So you could have a mount on Classic if I'm not mistaken, and also a pet. And for retail you will have multiple transmogs, multiple goodies, which are going to be quite neat. Anyways, the zone will be taking place in Arati Highlands, which is like famously also took place like Warfronts on BFA. I think they really like that zone. They should like maybe rework it somehow to be just a pure PvP zone, whatever. But it is used again, and it's a big zone. So I did like sum up everything from that video pretty much. But if you want to watch this Plunderstorm video from Wotlk, you should do that. I'm not going to watch it, it's not a react video, but you can watch it and see it in action pretty much. So set sail, so it's a pirate team, which is fun, and the spells and abilities, and you have like two offensive ones and two utility ones, are like from classes, but also like spells that you've never seen before. So it's going to be very interesting to play around. They might add more spells in the future, maybe, we'll never know. Each match should like be between 10 and 15 minutes. From what I've heard, they also said between 6 and 8, so I think it might be like maximum 10, something like that. 60 players per match, and since the zone is going to be shrinking a lot, I think there will be a lot of action. There is again the map, which is quite big. Let's see. This is really a big map. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to play around. And again, you have to plunder the enemies and the chests to get the best amount of loot possible. So basically, you can just download like Dragonflight, like retail, and like you have like a menu that you can choose between like retail Dragonflight and Plunderstorm. And if you take Plunderstorm, you can create your character and hop directly into a queue where you're going to play. So I'm very excited about that. Also, you can spectate upon death, so it's going to be quite interesting. So I might do solo queues where I basically like try to eliminate myself very quickly, so I can watch like the POV of people and like commentate those matches. That could be very fun as content. I like again. I watch myself content like this for multiple games, which are quite fun for battle royales. So I feel like that's something you could also see on multiple content creators going to do that probably, myself included. I think like that's the first thing I was thinking. Like this is going to be a content mine. I'm going to say, if people do appreciate the content. Again, a lot of rewards. For example, you have a mount here. For example, you have some neat transmogs, very cool, and you also have a content update patch. My initial thoughts are that it is going to be exceptionally fun. You're going to have like like only 7 buttons to press. You have an auto attack. I think you have like something else, like a potion where you can regen some health. You have double offensive abilities, then double utility abilities. I think you have your mounts, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be very fun, very new. I know that some people will dislike it because you're not playing your own character and you don't have like that many spells, but I think that's the blueprint for maybe something that is going to happen in the future. Maybe they could do a battle royale where you have your own class, for example, your warrior, you queue it up, and you start with no abilities, and all the abilities you can get are only warrior abilities or like warrior abilities that are like altered, maybe. But again, that's probably how a battle royale would have worked on World of Warcraft. Basically, like being stripped down of abilities and your gear and trying to get like the best abilities possible with leveling up to get more HP, for example. That's something that was always going to be happening from a battle royale POV. I think the game might bring a lot of new eyes. I think a lot of battle royale players might even test it out and play it out and see for themselves if it's going to be very fun. I imagine there are going to be a lot of tournaments, and content creators are going to probably participate in those. I think it's going to be very fun. Now, what I hope is that they learn from it and they actually try to build upon it, and not only like a one shot, like this is an event and it's only going to happen once and that's it. What I would like to see, if it's going to be a evergreen content where you could basically play the whole war within with like a battle royale kind of thing. Could be very fun. Again, I think it really is tied to rewards, and if it's ever going to have a ranked, it could be very fun as well if there was a ranked. But I think for now they're not going to do that. I think they're going to like keep it very light-hearted and like not very heavy for the players. I think they also want PvEers to be able to play that and not be like stomped out of like existence. But I think people are going to try hard because, again, if people can try hard on a certain thing, they're going to do that. And personally, I'm going to test a lot of builds. Again, there are like 10 offensive and 10 utility ones, like spells. So I guess you could like mix match everything. It could be very fun to play like this. But overall, I'm like looking forward to. Now, again, I think we could also talk about the update kind of classes. Like they did a few changes here and there. Like it's mostly like tier set changes. I think a lot of tier sets are not like very PvP centric, unfortunately. Like I think the balanced druid ones are not that great. Frost DK ones, it was not great before. I think the season 3 one was the better one. The season 4 one, like this one, is I think from season 2, which is not really that great. Blood DK ones got buffed. Evoker got like Preservation Evoker got the best tier set from season 1, so that's a good thing I guess for them. But they didn't get the buff, so I look forward to see the preservation galore. I think it's going to be very meta by all looks of it. Then you have like again a lot of changes. For example, Survival Hunter got like the season 1 set, which was like big mongoose bite, so that's going to be coming back. Then you have like multiple changes on those tier sets. You have also new talents here and there for mistweaver, which is again mind-boggling. Some people get like new stuff, and then some classes don't get new stuff. But Dance of Chi is now also a thing for mistweavers, where you could get a lot more damage on your spinning grey kick. You have also Peer into Peace, which is also a very fun one. I'm not going to read too much into that because I think, again, most people are probably already aware. I think it's very hard to judge right now since, again, Season 4 starts only in 5 weeks or something like that. So it's not going to be like very much happening right now. It's good for Season 3, I guess, for the people that are pushing right now. But I'm not thinking like too much into it. But this looks like a very big buff to me. But Windwalker's also like the season 1 set, which was also a good set. But I think season 1 set was very strong as well. I remember those Rising Sun kicks being very high. And then Holy Paladin got the season 2 set, which is also a great set, but it's not like the Daybreak set, so it's going to be very interesting to play around. And then you have like the priest rework. You have a lot of like things going on. The holy priest, so I don't know if it's a buff or not. I might check it out. I might make a video about it. We'll have to see. And then you have shadow priest getting the season 2 set, which I'm going to say the season 3 set was probably more strong because of the one shots that you could actually produce. Resto Shaman got like the season 1 set, which is not that fun in my opinion. This is really a PvE set in my like honest opinion. Destruction Warlock also got the season 1 set, which was really boring. It's like purely a throughput set, but it might shift you guys out of the rifts, so it might be very fun to play like something else than rifts, I guess. Arms Warrior got like the season 1 set, which is going to be very interesting. Maybe you could actually play as like a crit build again. We'll have to see. And then you have Fury Warriors getting the season 2 set, which is I think just the same as season 3 pretty much, but you get like more damage on Rampage. And Bloodthirst being a bit more reliable in my opinion, I think. But that's it. Like PvP changes, you only have like a few changes, like Evoker one getting like 50% of damage taken in the last 5 seconds from rewind instead of 33%. And also they did a few changes on the Battleground Blitz Brawl, which now you can have Warsong Gulch and Twin Peaks without any tanks, so that's going to be very fun. So you could actually play more maps, and flag maps are like notoriously like fun to play. And without tanks, it's going to be very interesting to play and to see the dynamic behind it. They're going to give you a buff whenever you're going to get the flag if you're a DPS. It's going to be very interesting to play around. And also they're going to nerf the mount speed just in general, so it's going to be a bit more, or at least a bit less clunky. So we'll have to see. I'm very excited for Battleground Blitz. I was hoping it's going to get ranked, but it's not going to be ranked yet. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to be playing a lot of Battle Royale of World of Warcraft, which is something I always asked. The same for a mobile version of World of Warcraft, not like Heart of the Storm, but really a third-person MMO MOBA where you could actually like play your character and your gear is still there, and they find like a way to have levels be relevant and such. And like have a mobile could be also very fun. It might be an event one day, but right now I think it's going to be very, very fun to play around. So I'm looking forward to. Again, I was going in 10.2.6 with zero, I would even say -5 expectations, and I come out with like a pleasant surprise. I think it might be meta. I think the meta is go in without any expectations and you will only get some rewards from it. So I'm looking forward to play that. I'm looking forward to play season 3 as well a bit. I'm looking forward for season 4 a bit. I might like again do a lot of content on Plunderstorm. I don't know how I'm going to make the titles, but I'm going to find out a way to make it interactive with you guys and have fun with it. And again, try to have fun with Warcraft. Like that is the main motto. Don't try to find everything like super competitive and meta. Sometimes playing like just for fun might be like the ideal way to play World of Warcraft, in my opinion.